So we'll get started now. Thank you again for joining us here today to review our latest Boingnet release and specifically our audiences campaigns. I'm joined here on the webinar today by Liz Townsend.
Hello, everyone.
And as well as Charles Rubino.
Hello.
And so today what we're going to do is walk through the latest Boingnet update, and first we'll be focusing on our new campaign type that we are calling audiences. As I mentioned, audiences is a completely new way to utilize personalized URLs across different types of campaigns. As you can see, here's an example of how the personalization can roll into third-party website management tools such as WordPress. Next, we'll be reviewing some of the new PURL formatting options that we've rolled out with this release. And then finally, we'll get into some of the new billing and subscription management tools that have been pushed live. And then we'll do an actual live audiences campaign and show you how the whole thing works. So, what are audiences campaigns? First, what we'd like for folks to think about is the way that Google Analytics works, where Google Analytics is a very, very common tool for folks to use to track what's happening on their websites. What we've created here with audiences campaigns are really a tool similar to that, except for use in direct marketing campaigns. And so the setup and the structure of the campaigns is very similar, and some of the architecture is similar as well. It's a tried and true proven technique that Google is using. Lots of other firms like Omniture, who was purchased by Adobe, uses a similar technique to track generalized web traffic. In this case, however, what we are tracking are PURLs and the way that specific people navigate across different web pages hosted in different environments. You get the best of a traditional PURL campaign, meaning the personalization and the tracking on a one-to-one basis within an audiences campaign. And the great part is that you can use any landing page tool. And so we've tested the audiences campaigns currently across WordPress, HubSpot, and Unbounce, which are all major players in the web content management and landing page space. And it's working beautifully. We'll continue to push out more and more types of tested platforms as we proceed over the next few months. And what makes it great is it's so simple and so fast, we can really crank these out and do a great job testing. So as you can see over on the right-hand side of the page, we utilize a tracking code in the same way that Google Analytics does and any other type of tracking tool or retargeting tool. So, for example, if you're using Facebook retargeting, you're dropping a tracking code in your pages. If you're using Google AdWords or any other type of web-based online ads, you're using a similar type of tracking code. This works the exact same way. The great part, though, as you look here in the bottom part of the screen, you get to utilize the variable data and variable logic aspects of a Boingnet PURL campaign in your web page creative. We're going to show how that works here today. So when should these types of campaigns be used? Why did we do this? Well, we've been in the market for several years, and one of the consistent things that we hear from folks is, hey, I've already got landing pages. I've already got great web content. I just want to track how my direct mail or email targets are navigating across those existing pages. Or I've already got a big infrastructure set up in a marketing automation tool, like a HubSpot or a Marketo or Infusionsoft or Acton. There are tons of them out there. They're great tools, and folks have landing pages, forms, drip campaigns, all sorts of things set up. They want to plug direct mail in and use PURLs as the way to link direct mail to their existing marketing automation. Boingnet Audiences Campaigns gives you a fast and easy way to do that. And then finally, we're seeing a large resurgence in the use of direct mail in e-commerce, both from a catalog standpoint as well as a postcard standpoint. And again, creating a PURL and linking those direct mail campaigns to your e-commerce and to create exact attribution of sales is a really big deal. And so we're able to do that here using Boingnet Audiences. So what are some examples? So here's an example of the HubSpot page editor, where we have set up some variables or tokens, in this case, where it says hi first name, and we're pulling tokens out of the Boingnet data file that is used to generate PURLs. We're able to set it up in text. We're able to insert these tokens into forms, into buttons. We're able to utilize our variable logic capability, if-then functionality. So if a person has a particular status in their file, show them the following content. And so I'm just going to click through quickly and show a couple of examples. So first, we're going to launch a page that is a HubSpot landing page that is addressing a person named Joe. His name is Joe Sample. We're filling out a form. We're pulling an image out of the HubSpot data directory. We're creating some logic. If this field is less than 4, then 1 is less than 4. So there's all sorts of different little tests that we've set up here in our HubSpot environment. And now if I click on the next PURL, you'll see that we are now addressing a person named June. And June is a different person in our list. They received a direct mail campaign or they received an email. They entered the URL or clicked through, and now they're seeing a personalized experience in HubSpot, but using the data from the direct mail file to personalize that experience. So as I mentioned, we've set this up in both HubSpot as well as WordPress. I'm actually going to show you the WordPress implementation live in a little bit using a couple of these sample PURLs. So the big deal here is we can personalize and track across any modern web, landing page, or e-commerce platform. We believe this is the first time this has been done with PURLs. We're filing a patent. We are in process, have a provisional underway, and we're very excited about this. It's a fairly simple process. We're going to walk through this in a little bit. But basically, in Boingnet, similar to a current PURL campaign, you need to get a domain. You need to upload a list and map it. And then what's a little bit different is that when you set up your audiences campaign, you need to tell us where you want to point your audience. So what happens is we generate a PURL, and that PURL captures that target for a moment and then redirects them to your landing page of choice. that is hosted anywhere. In that landing page, there has to be a tracking code. And so on the landing page side, you need to set up your tracking codes and then any personalization tokens or variables that you want to enter. Once you've determined where the landing page is, you can also set up a goal URL or a conversion URL, exact same way that Google Analytics works, where you can create goals. You can set up one or multiple goals inside of a campaign. Once you've done that, you generate your PURLs, you mail or email them out, and then you track the results. Very simple, very easy. So we have some new PURL formatting options. So for existing clients, when the next time that you log in, you'll see that the personalized campaign wizard has been restructured a bit, and we've created a new way to generate a different type of PURL. We call them random URL strings. And so this gives you a completely different way of structuring a PURL, and they're really, again, caused us to do this. Our customers and the market has said, hey, we need some more flexibility, some more ways to structure these PURLs for particular situations. And so what you're able to do is set up a random URL string. First, you choose a number of characters, whether it's any number between 4 and 15. Then you choose whether you want random letters and numbers, random letters only, or random numbers only. And then based on your selection, we will calculate the total combinations that can be put together to keep the uniqueness within your campaign. As you know, with a personalized URL, your campaign has to maintain uniqueness. And so this will make sure that you do that. As you can see, 4 random letters and numbers will create total combinations over 1 million. So you don't really need a very long URL in order to do this. So why would we do this? First, we're getting a lot of client feedback that they would like to have a fixed width URL for their direct mail piece versus a variable width. And so the traditional way of generating PURLs is to do something like use a first name, last name out of your list to create as it is called, a personalized URL. And the problem is that you run into some names that are quite lengthy, such as NBA star Giannis Antetokounmpo from the Milwaukee Bucks, and you run into very short names. And so from a direct mail creative standpoint, you have to plan for the longest possible name to take up space on your postcard or your mail piece. By fixing the width to a 4-character .url or a 6-character .url, you are able to know in advance exactly how wide your PURL will be on the printed piece, and you can build your creative around that appropriately. And oftentimes the PURL is the primary call to action on that piece, and so you want to make it pretty big. You want to make it very strong from a creative standpoint. This gives you that ability. Second reason, folks are asking for the shortest possible PURL from a typing standpoint. As you can see, typing in 4w4q.tryboingnet.com is a lot faster than typing in Giannis Antetokounmpo, tryboingnet.com. And then finally, and particularly in campaigns to audiences in regulated industries such as healthcare and finance, oftentimes there's a hesitancy to use PURLs because the audience believes that the sharing of personalized information on the printed piece could be compromising in some way. And so if you have any audience's sensitivities around privacy, this is a great solution. So this option is now available in our standard personalized campaigns as well as in the new audiences campaigns. Finally, we've made a fairly significant upgrade in our billing and subscription management platform. We've moved a lot of homegrown software that we've been building and maintaining over the years over to a platform called Stripe. So Stripe is one of the largest billing subscription management platforms in the world. They're spread out all over the place. We've immediately eliminated any issues we have in terms of taking any kind of international credit cards or anything like that. They've got built-in machine learning anti-fraud systems, which actually has paid off already. We had a person attempt to set up a Boingnet account this week to set up a fraudulent campaign to try to get Apple users to give them their Apple ID. The Stripe system found that this person who was operating on a self-serve basis tried to put in stolen credit cards and immediately flagged them and shut them down. And so we're now got the power of a worldwide system to protect you and to do a better job in what we do every day, which is innovate in the software world. So there's a couple of things to note. If you're an existing client that was sitting in the older Boingnet subscription management platform, you'll need to re-enter your credit card one time. And so next time you log in, you can navigate over to the new payment method page, enter your credit card, and then you'll be done. And then finally, the system also now has a proration feature, so that if you change plans mid-month, it will either credit your account if you've dropped your subscription down to a lower tier, or debit your account if you have moved up into a higher tier. Keeps your anniversary date the same, it just will create a small bill either up or down when you make the plan change. And finally, our service agreement has been updated to reflect this change that we now have proration capability. So now we're going to hop into the audiences campaign and do a little bit of a demo. So we're going to set up a tracking code to show you how it's done, and then we'll set up the target and goal URLs. So we've now moved over into Boingnet. As you can see, the Create Campaign page has been updated. We're going to create a new Audiences campaign here. And we'll show you how quick and easy it is. First, we'll give it a name. We'll call this April Webinar Campaign. And we're going to have to enter our starting URL. The starting URL is the place that we want to direct our audience to when they type in their PURL. And so this would be your landing page that is hosted in some third-party system. And so I've got one already set. Grab this one. Audiences personalization example. We'll paste that in. We'll click next. And now what is our goal URL? The goal URL is the URL that we want to track as a conversion. So similar to the way that web tracking analysis tools like Google Analytics works, you can set up a goal as an option. And when somebody navigates to that goal, then Boingnet will count it as a conversion in your metrics for your campaign. And so the goal URL can be a confirmation page from filling out a form. It could be the thank you page after an e-commerce purchase. All that we need to do is grab that URL, drop it in, and then we're off to the races. Next, we're going to grab a contact list. Grab the Boingnet employees. Keep moving. Now we select the URL format for our PURLs so that we can generate them either in the random character string fashion or in the traditional friendly URL where we choose something from the data file, first, last, city, state, zip, company, etc. In this case, I'm going to grab, we'll say, random letters and numbers and choose a campaign or domain. So these are domains that have been set up in Boingnet already. We'll give it a URL end. We'll call it for campaign. Next, do I want any notifications when the landing page has been hit by any of the PURL targets? Do I want a notification when somebody has reached their conversion page? We can kick that out automatically as well, or a nightly email summary report. I'm going to create the audiences campaign. And so now the PURLs are being generated in the background and the campaign is being set up for you. Now, we had mentioned that you need to set up a tracking code in your third-party landing page system. And so the tracking code is right here, where you can copy and paste the code. You can also utilize a pop-up window that you can navigate to in your campaign dashboard. We are also will be releasing very shortly a WordPress plugin that you can download and set up in your WordPress instance, as well as a Chrome extension. So you can have our variable data, variable logic builder plugged right into your Chrome browser and access that at any time. So let's walk through the campaign. Now, as you can see, the April webinar campaign that we just set up has been created, and the campaign is not published, so you can use it for testing purposes. Hit those pages as often as you like with your PURLs. Then when it's time to go live, publish the campaign, clear the stats, and then you're off and running. I'm going to hop into an existing campaign just to show you an example of one with some data from page views. So in this case, we have a campaign set up. We can add campaign events just as we can in our personalized campaigns. So we can put in our mail drops. If you're doing any emailing activity from within Boingnet, those will appear automatically. You can set up your goals. In this case, our goal is already set up. We can add more goals if we so choose. Download our PURLs. Generate and download a QR code file. And our campaign timeline is keeping track of our audience, our unique visitors, our conversions, total page views, unique page views. So who's in our audience? In this case, we've got some filters over here on the left-hand side where we've selected all time frames. We can choose a date range. In this case, we've got our audience selected to show only those that are open. I can say, all right, I want to see the non-openers and filter the results. I'll go back to the openers. I can also select segments. So I can say, all right, I want to see everybody from the state of Massachusetts and what's happening there, or everybody that I've defined with a persona and look at their results. So lots of flexibility in how you filter your results. We also can see the pages that have been set up with the tracking code in the Boingnet software. And so the white label marketing automation was our goal, and the audience's personalization example was the other page that has been set up. But if you've set up 5, 6, 10, 20, or all of your pages, as your clients navigate around, their cookie will interact with the tracking code on the page and report it back to Boingnet. So we'll see every page view for every one of your campaign targets across the environment that you set up. Finally, we have general information. We can pop up, get the tracking code at any time. We can use our pop-up builder to personalize with variable data and variable logic. Get our code. So the Audiences Campaign dashboard works in a very similar fashion to our other page dashboards, lead generation and personalized. And so as you become used to one type of campaign in Boingnet, it should become sort of second nature. So finally, our last step is to go into a live third-party system and show you how Audiences works inside of, in this case, WordPress. So I'm going to move over into Boignet's WordPress platform, where we host our Boingnet.com website. And the first thing you need to do is set up your tracking code. And so that can be done by inserting it into the header file, and then the tracking code will be there for every page that you want that is in the website. Or you can use a plugin. In this case, we use a plugin called Tracking Code Manager Pro. And you can see we've set up Boingnet personalization along with Facebook and Google Analytics and Twitter remarketing tags. I'm going to pop in and edit. And you can see that I've set up that tracking code. I've set up the position before the head and the pages where I want the tracking code within the WordPress instance. So pretty simple. Set up your tracking code, and then you're all done. You don't have to deal with it. You don't have to do it for every single campaign. It's the same tracking code regardless of the campaign that you are working with. Next, we'll set up our personalization. And so now I'm in a WordPress page. This is our WordPress editor and uses our theme that controls our entire website. And in this case, you can see I've already inserted a token. I'm just going to delete it and then go to our little WordPress plugin, insert first name. And then we also had set up some logic. And so we're saying based on the state that you are from, we bet that you'd say, and if your state is equal to Mass, Patriots rock. And you show a picture of Happy Tom Brady. And then if otherwise, if you're not from Massachusetts, you say Patriots stink, and you see a picture of Tom Brady being sacked, which is what I'm sure everybody from Atlanta would like to see. So again, very simple process, utilizing the pop-up builder to insert logic and code. These images that are being used for the logic are hosted in WordPress. So these are not part of the Boingnet system at all. These are images and assets that are part of WordPress. And that's true throughout all of the systems that we use. And so finally, what I'm going to do is give you a live preview of this, and I'm going to grab a PURL. What will happen when I enter it into my browser is that it will hit the Boingnet server briefly. It will grab a cookie and throw the cookie down on my computer. And in this case, we're dealing with a person named Amy, and she is from the state of Massachusetts, so she says Patriots rock, and you see Happy Tom Brady. Now, if I grab the other PURL, and enter it here, for Greg Sullivan, we can see that Greg is not from the state of Massachusetts, and so he says Patriots stink and Tom Brady's on the ground. Greg is actually from Massachusetts. He would be very upset to know that we're using him in this way. That's the quick and dirty demo of how Audiences Campaigns can work in a third-party system like WordPress. And again, we haven't tested every system under the sun. We're saying that any modern landing page or content management system or marketing automation platform that can deal with the tracking codes that virtually every system is out there using now and can render HTML can utilize this system. So back to here, and we will wrap up. So we're working hard. We're trying to improve the system. We're trying to make it easier to use. We're trying to give you better tools every single day. Actually, getting that billing software off of our hands really frees up more resources. So you're going to see more innovation coming from Boingnet over the coming months. We're very excited about what's happening. If you want to learn more about this release, we've got a blog post set up under Liz's tips on the website. We will send out the recording very shortly, and we'll include the link to the article as well as the help articles that are set up in our knowledge base. You can also give us a call or email us, and we'd love to dive in further, answer any questions, tackle any campaigns you may have in mind. We can brainstorm around them. We're very eager to get Audiences Campaigns in production and set up case studies and do any kind of co-marketing. So if anybody has any ideas, we'd love to collaborate around them. So thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to roll through this with you. As you can tell, we're really excited about this. We think this really changes the game in terms of the way PURLs can be used and the speed by which these campaigns can be deployed. Well, we look forward to speaking with everybody soon. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone.